loss here with Anthony Yarde. Anthony, how are you feeling ahead of your return?
I feel fantastic. I feel good. Always good to be getting new experiences under the lights. And again, just getting more and more experience. Being active is the most important thing.
And obviously we've got a big weekend in your division this weekend. Are you going to be tuning into that, and how do you think it's going to go?
How it's going to go, based on recent performances, Dan Aziz could get the win. For potential big blockbuster fights, hopefully Boatsi gets the win. They both leave unscathed, safe, and we can get a massive or even bigger London showdown and entertain the fans.
Out of Boatsi Aziz and possibly a trilogy with Lyndon Arnold, obviously went the distance with Dimitri Bivol, is it Boatsi who you would most want?
It's not about, it is about what I want, but it's about what attracts the most attention. It's about putting on pay-per-view fights, and hopefully we can make it happen.
Anthony, it's been about a year since you fought beterbiev. Learning from that experience and having that, how much do you feel like you've grown as a person now, having sort of 2 comeback fights now? How much have you grown since that fight?
I've learned a lot because I'm in the gym working all the time. Again, in that fight as well, I learned something about myself. Proved to myself again that what I believe in my brain is it. I just need to keep adjusting, keep making little adjustments, improving different things, and slowly but surely.
Going back to the topic of Boatsi Aziz, and I know you talked about sort of wanting Boatsi, and it's always been sort of the talk of yourself, and outside of the heavyweight division, it's always been everyone wants to see Boatsi Yarde. Do you feel like 2024 we could see the paths align and finally get that shadow on, getting through, he gets through on Saturday and you get through next week?
Well, yeah. I feel like, for myself, I feel like I'm in a very, very good position for big fights. I said it on camera, I've said it publicly, I want big fights this year. Boatsi is one of them big fights. Callum Smith now, again, his name's been chucked out about. That's another big fight. Again, the difference with someone like Callum Smith, he's fought world champions. He's fought the biggest name in boxing. He's fought Canelo. He just got, again, beterbiev walked through him, so that gave me a lot of credit. But again, that's another potential big fight. I feel like, to be honest with you, even this cruiserweight thing with Chris Smith, that got spoke about and people have been talking about that. So again, everyone knows me. I've proven I don't shy away from fights. That's just not how I'm built. If the fight makes sense, we can make it happen. I don't call out nobody. I've never ever called out nobody. But all the attention was on Yarde and Boatsi. So I said it on camera. I went on Sky Sports. They were talking about the fight. So I said, yeah, if he wins the fight, hopefully me and Boatsi can get cracking.
Would a cruiserweight move would Billy Smith be the only sort of person you'd be interested in from cruiserweight, with him being from the UK?
I just thought, I met Billy Smith. He's a lovely guy again, but we all do know this is business. It's not like he's not my friend. We don't know each other like that. I've just met him a couple of times, and any fight's possible. If the fight makes sense, it's possible.
Anthony, I have to ask, you've spoken there about a potential fight with Callum Smith. Obviously, you mentioned the Joshua Boatsi fight. Put it on the table. If you had the chance to fight, say, Joshua Boatsi at the O2, sell that out in London, 2 London rivals, or the Callum Smith fight, this 5 versus 5 matchroom Queensbury out in Saudi, where there might be a bit more money on the table as well, what would be of a high interest to you?
To me, it don't matter. It matters about what's drawing the most attention, what's the offer, and what's on the table. That's just me being 100% honest. I've said publicly and I've proven. So I feel like I'm not the kind of person you should be asking these questions. You should be asking people the questions that haven't been in the ring with world champions. And when opportunities have been presented to make fights happen, it hasn't happened. So again, I'm not here to promote anybody else or do anything like that. I've said it publicly, the fights that I want big fights this year, but in the meantime, I need activity.
Anthony, what are your reflections on Callum Smith's defeat to Artur beterbiev?
I think it just went how I thought it would go, and again, there was no disrespect to Callum Smith. I said it publicly, I want him to win the fight, but I just saw it as a massive ask, and I've been in there with beterbiev. I know, I've seen and I felt the things that he does in there, it's little subtle things. Very intelligent, etc. He's strong, hits hard. I thought he was going to walk through Smith, and that's what he did.
One of the talking points from that week, Anthony, was the atypical finding in Beterbiev's test. What did you make of that, and did you have anything like that come up prior to you fighting him?
From what I was made aware of, there was nothing for the fight with me and him. Again, I can't badmouth anybody, but again, when he's 38 years old, and from what I hear, it was, I think, testosterone or something like that
HGH.
and HGH. What's that?
Human growth hormone.
And to me, that's crazy. That's crazy. So unless he's found some new spices or some new herbs in the ground, some, I don't know, maybe some beetroot in the floor that he's been harvesting himself, and it's created a, I don't know, but again, it is suspicious. It is suspicious, but again, they say the fact is found in the human body. They couldn't ban them. But to me, and again, I will say this because I don't shy away from nothing. If I think something, I'll say it. It's coincidence that they keep postponing fights. Every fight is the same thing. It's the same. I wouldn't say method, but it's like it's a bit of a coincidence. My fight got postponed. The Smith fight got postponed. The fight before that got postponed. Same thing when I fought Kovalev. So again, if it is cheating that's causing me to be in the position I'm in and not be world champion, again, it is it's hurtful. I train my arse off. Everyone knows me. I give my all to boxing, and again, I'm just trying to change my life, my family's life. Again, my coach's life. Tunde, Joel, Martin, Arami, Ade. I'm trying to make everyone, all the hard work pay off, and it is paying off, but. Again, there's a process to it.
Anthony, you tweeted after the Smith fight that the rematch between you and beterbiev. Do you think that could happen in the future?
I think 100%. I was up on the scorecards in the beterbiev fight. I've given him his hardest fight to this date, and it's them small margins. So again, going back to this little conspiracy theory about the drugs. If that's the little 1% that's causing me to, because look, Kovalev, he got found for drugs after I fought him, and I went out to Russia. I risked everything. I was still undefeated at the time, big prospect, but my mentality is not based on here and now. My mentality is based on, I don't know, it's a bit bigger. It's a bit bigger than the here and now. I just see it as the opportunity is there. That's a blessing. Why not go for it?
I have to ask Anthony, obviously there's a lot of talk about that undisputed bout as well. What would you make of a Beterbiev and Bivol fight? I
think that's an entertaining fight for boxing fans. I would want to see that. I've been saying that. I just don't see how Bivol will keep off Beterbiev for 12 rounds. Again, I've been in there with him. He's very cerebral. He's smart in how he does things. Bivol's he's been a punch perfect boxer so far. But in terms of size, if people do give him a lot of credit because of what he done with Canelo. Canelo is tiny compared to him. Beterbiev's not. So that could be the difference. But again, we'll see. It's going to happen.
Anthony, we know about these huge fights being mentioned,
yes.
And we also know that all the belts could be tied up now with this undisputed fight. But how important is it for you to win that world title?
It's part of the, legacy and achievements. So it needs to happen in my career. I feel like I've worked hard enough. I'm going to continue to work hard as well. And I feel like some people say it's written. I like to say we'll make it happen.
Could we see that world title maybe more likely now at cruiserweight?
Any weight slightly. I've said it from early in my career. I will go cruiserweight, I'll go heavyweight. Let's smack up these guys as well.
I have to ask Anthony then, you mentioned a potential move to cruiserweight. Say if you did move up, do you think you wouldn't be able to move back down then?
We don't know. Again, we don't know. I wouldn't be doing nothing like jumping to heavyweight and coming back down to light heavyweight like Roy Jones did. But again, we don't know the future. All we can do is take one fight at a time. The only fight I should be talking about is the guy I'm fighting on next week Saturday. Again, I can't overlook him. He's had 32 wins, only had 3 losses. I've had 3 losses. There's one that I will dispute until the end of my life. But again, I've got 3 losses on my record. He's got 3 losses on his record, and he's got more wins on his record than me. Yeah, I'm a knockout king. I've got more knockouts on my record, but it's a tasty fight for me, so I'm up for it.
That's what Anthony, going into that fight then, your next fight that is, when you fought at the highest level, when you fought for world honours, Is it difficult to stay motivated going into these types of fights?
No, because it's a career. If you look at my career, in September, I fought another guy who, again, he wasn't a beterbiev. You know, it's going to be hard for me now to fight another beterbiev. It's going to be hard for me now to fight another Kovalev. So, again, you take fights to get more experience. I want to be active. I've said it before, I've said it on camera. I want to have a big fight this year, or big fights. But in the meantime, I'm not waiting around for nobody, and I want to be in the ring active.
Anthony, you mentioned undisputed fights. Just wondered your thoughts on Fury Usyk coming up.
That's a big fight. I feel like it's an entertaining fight, a fight we all want to see. I think we all wanted to see the Joshua Fury a bit more. It still can happen, hopefully. Just off of sheer size, I have to give it to. I would choose Fury. The Klitschko fight, he shocked the world, and again, this fight, if he's smart with it, he can make it quite easy, I think.
Anthony, does it excite you, all these big fights being made in Saudi Arabia? Because you've just said for the last 10 minutes you want these big fights, and hopefully they can materialise with His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh making them.
100%. It's definitely exciting. It's a prize fighting sport. Someone like myself, yeah, for the boxing fans, and for myself, but it's a lot to do with boxing fans. You know, when people call on certain fights, when I heard about the beterbiev fight, I said, this is a fight I'm interested to see how this is going to play out. So come, let's make it happen. I've shown what I'm like, and sometimes you give a lot to boxing fans, but you don't get a lot back. So for me, it's about having the big fights. I will keep showing up. I'll keep putting on excellent performances. Next time I get a world title shot, I will win the fight. But again, it's all about experience. That's why I'm staying active.
Do you believe that some big fights can be made between Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn now?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
What's that like for you to see now, Anthony? Obviously, Frank and Eddie, their relationship.
I feel like it was always possible. But again, just business. It's just business.
Anthony, so back to obviously Boxy Aziz, and as we all know, there's a lot of very good domestic fighters in your division. How would you rank them, obviously excluding yourself? Who do you think is the toughest challenge?
Excluding myself? I don't know. You would only know once you're in there with somebody. That's it. I'm not giving someone too much props. I'm not taking away props from anybody. You only know when you're in there with someone.
Anthony, how likely is it those big fights come over in Saudi, do you think, rather in the UK?
I think it's possible. Saudi have been making things happen. So, you know, they've been making things happen, so we'll see. Hopefully they can put a big pot on the line. That would be good for me. That would be good for everyone involved. And it's sure that we'll entertain the fans.
Just looking at Boatsi Aziz, Anthony, if you're looking at it from both men's perspective, what's the keys for both men to come out on top on Saturday night?
Get in the ring and win the fight.
How do you think Joshua Ngannou is going to go?
Joshua Ngannou. Oh man, I was one of the people saying why. Again, just like when Joe Joyce fought Zhang, I was like, why? Like we're at that cusp again where Fury's fighting Usyk, the winner fights Joshua. Because of his name, they're going to want to fight him. Like he can just step in and say, fight me. Like, why? That's for me. And then Ngannou, again, in my opinion, again, I'll say this in front of how many? 1, 2, however many cameras. I thought Ngannou won the fight with Fury. That's just my own opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I thought he won the fight. He's dangerous. He's shown that this guy has walked through an elbow. He got hit with an elbow clean and walked through it. He barely blinked and continued the fight to the end. Hurt Fury a few times. So he's dangerous. I know he come from the UFC background, but he surprised me with his boxing IQ in there, I can't lie.